Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing great. In this lecture, we will be looking at training delivery and facilitation. Just want to have a basic understanding of training delivery and facilitation. My name is Dr. Yinusa Oyekunle. So let's go ahead into the lecture proper. So the learning objectives. What are we going to be looking at in today's lecture? So we'll be looking at four key things. The first one is trainers' roles and responsibilities. What are your roles and responsibilities as adult educators, as trainers? We'll be looking at that. We'll also be looking at effective presentation and facilitation skills. What are those skills required for you to make effective and efficient presentation and facilitation? And also we'll be looking at onboarding. Onboarding. What does onboarding connote as far as training delivery facilitation is concerned, and also scaffolding. So we'll be looking at these areas, and let's start with trainers' roles and responsibilities. So in terms of trainers' roles and responsibility, the first thing you should note here is you as a facilitator. You as a facilitator, you as an adult educator. All adult educators are regarded as what? Facilitators. You are not a teacher, you're not a lecturer, you are a facilitator, because the concept of facilitator is distinct, is unique when it comes to delivering training, learning content, and facilitation. Okay, so as a facilitator or adult educator, you are expected to be familiar with adult learning theories. Adult learning theories of Malcolm knows. What does it connote? When you have understanding of what this connotes, then it will help you as a facilitator to deliver efficient training and facilitation. So adult learning theory that connotes that learners, you should understand your learners. You should get familiar with your learners, your clients, people you are your trainees. You must understand that your learners are self-directing. Self-directed learners are learners who can decide what they want to learn. They know what they want to learn. They can decide what they want to learn, the pace at which they want to learn. So they have the basic idea, the concept of who they are and what they want in life, what they want to learn. So whoever that is coming for your training program knows what he or she wants to learn. So you must understand that. Very, very key. Another thing is you know that your learners are problem solvers. They are there because they want to solve a problem. And so whatever you want to teach them must be able to enhance them in solving the problem. So it must be what? Solution focused. Problem solution focused. So another thing is that these your learners are full of experience. They have wealth of experience they are bringing to your classroom, to your training program, and as such, you must be able to relate with all of these things. And they are also motivated, intrinsically motivated to learn. They are driven by their passion to improve on themselves, to improve on their career, and that is why they have come for your training program. You need to understand all of these things as facilitator or adult educator. So when you understand this, then you can now know how to, you know, how to navigate around in ensuring effective facilitation and delivery of the learning content, of the training content. So another thing you must understand apart from you being a facilitator is, as a facilitator, you must have the subject matter expertise, meaning that you must be fast, you must know your onions, you must know what you want to deliver onto your learners or trainees. So you must have a good mastery of what you want to train them on, or what you want to teach them, so that whatever you are teaching them is not out of the context. You must be able to break down the complex nature of what you are teaching them into understandable concept, or something they can be able to relate with. This is very, very important. So, and as an adult educator, one way to show that you really have good mastery of the content or the subject matter is for you to be relevant. You must stay up to date with the latest information, with the trends, with the best practices in your field as far as that content is concerned. So you must be able to display, you must be able to espouse this in your delivery of the subject matter. So in-depth knowledge and expertise in the subject matter that you want to train them on is key. It's not negotiable. You must be able to have these skills. You must be able to deliver this subject matter effectively and efficiently. So this is also one of your unique role as an adult educator. Another thing that is very key here is instructional design. Instructional design. What do we mean by instructional design? Meaning that what you are bringing to the classroom, or what you want to train them on, the content, the model, you must be the one to have designed it. You must design it, you must develop it in such a way that it will be engaging and ensure effective, training and learning experiences. So if you are the one that design or co-design and develop the material, then you must be familiar with it. You must understand the nitty-gritty of that module. So you must be able to design it in such a way that the activities therein, the materials must speak to what you want to train them. So it is for you to have this, I mentioned, the subject matter. For you to have good mastery of the subject matter, you must be part of the design of the content or the module that you want to deliver to them. So you must also organize and structure the training content in a logical and coherent manner. So this is also part of instructional design. You are an instructional designer. You must be able to design it, incorporate various instructional strategies and techniques to cater to different learning style or preferences of your learners. This is important as an instructional designer. Your role is not just a dual role now. You have multiplicity of role in this context, and also you should be able to have a good mastery of what you are designing for them. The instruction, you are part of the designer. You are the designer of the content. So this is very important. Also, for a very important aspect of your role and responsibility as a facilitator, as a trainer, is you serving as a mentor and motivator. Mentor and motivator. You must provide appropriate guidance. You must be able to guide, you must be able to support and give, constructive feedbacks to participants throughout the training process, throughout the training program. So you must develop that mentor-mentee relationship with them. So you can't do this if you don't get to know them, if you don't get close to them. Because getting close to them will help you to determine a lot of things in terms of determining the teaching style or the facilitation style that you want to adopt to be able to captivate their mind, to make learning fun and engaging. So you must be able to get in touch with your participant or your trainee. This is also important. You must also identify areas for improvement. As a mentor, as a motivator, you must identify areas where they need improvement. and offer constructive, like I said, constructive criticism, constructive feedback to help them do what? Enhance their skills and knowledge. This is important. As a motivator, you must encourage each participant, to always ensure that they reflect on whatever they have been taught, whatever they have been, taken through in the course of the training. You must be able to lift them. You must be able to encourage them to do better, to improve, acquire what they are expected to learn in a practical way, inspire them to actively engage in the learning process. So like I said, you have multiplicity of roles. So you are not just a facilitator, you are an instructional designer, you are a mentor, you are a motivator, and so on and so forth. And also you are a classroom manager. You must be able to manage the pace, the time of the training effectively. You must be able to establish and enforce ground rules that can make the learning, fun, engaging, and organized for productive learning to take place. So you must also address and resolve any conflicts or disruptions that may ensue in the course of the training. So you are literally managing everything that has to do with the training program. So that's why you say you are a classroom manager. You are also an evaluator because you are part of the co-design, or you are the designer of the content, the module. So you must be able to evaluate. You must be able to design and implement appropriate, assessment method to evaluate your participants so that you can determine their level of understanding and their skills that they have been able to acquire in the course of the training program. So by evaluating them, you also provide what? Constructive feedback on the assessment, on the evaluation you have carried out for them. So you must also be able to analyze training evaluation data to identify areas where they need improvement. And that's the essence of you conducting evaluation, carrying out assessment for them. So you want to see how far they have been able to do well in your training program, and also offer support and improvement services for your learners, for your trainees. So you are maybe you are a professional. Of course, you are a professional, so you must be able to display that professionalism. You must maintain a professional demeanor and adhere to ethical standards that govern the the training program. So how best to relate to them? You are not supposed to, you are not supposed to go outside your boundaries. You know what you want to teach them. You know how you want to relate with them. You must do you must carry out your duties and responsibilities in a professional way. And that's the essence of you being professional. So all these and many more are your roles and responsibilities as adult facilitator, as adult educator, as a facilitator, as trainer. So these roles are important, and you must ensure that you harness the skills inherent in these roles and responsibilities so that you can be able to deliver effective training program for your clients, for your training, for your trainees. Yeah, this is very important. So how do you hone those skills? Let's go ahead. So in effective presentation and facilitation, the first thing you must have as skill is preparation and organizational skills. You must be able to organize your learning content in a logical and coherent manner. You must have a clear or create a clear and visually appealing presentation. When you are preparing, when you are organizing your content, you must have it at the back of your mind, the techniques, the materials, the slides you want to put in place to make sure that your learning or your training or your presentation is appealing, or can captivate the minds of your trainees. So you must have that skills to be able to, you must have that preparation and organizational skills to be able to do that. So you must also, under this preparation and organization, you must be able to anticipate what or your potential questions or areas of confusion for your trainees. Of course, the content will not be totally clear to them. There are aspects where they will be having difficulty, so you must be able to anticipate those areas where question can come from, so that you can prepare well for them. So another thing is, for you to make effective presentation and facilitation, is you being an effective communicator. You must be able to speak clearly, confidently, and at appropriate pace. You must not be too fast. You must not rush everything. You must take it one step at a time, so that your learner can follow through what you are, training them on, or what you're teaching them. So you must speak audibly. You must be confident when you are speaking. You must also use varied tone, not just one straight jacketed tone that will not fascinate the learners. So you must use varied tone that can help them capture their mind, even when they feel out of the learning or the training program. So there are some voices you call it feel. So when you raise your voice, when you talk in a subtle manner, you know when to talk in a subtle manner, you know when to raise your voice, you don't want to slow down, you don't want to high your tone. So these are areas you need to understand, so that you can always get the attention of your learners. You must also employ appropriate body language. You must ensure eye contact. You must use good gesture, so that they are watching your steps, they are watching your body language as you are training them. So they want to know whether this facilitator also has them in mind as you go about in delivering the training content. So you must use appropriate body language, eye contact, and gesture. Another thing that's very important is how to engage your audience. So you must develop that skills, engagement skills, using interactive techniques. When you interact with them, you'll be able to know their weaknesses, their strengths, so that you can individualize instruction if possible. Because when you get to know them is when you know their level of understanding, their strength, their weaknesses. So when you identify those learners, then you can be able to individualize your instruction, so that you can carry everybody along in the training program. So also you must establish rapport, create an inclusive learning environment. The way to do that is to familiarize yourself with your learners. So you must also encourage participation and active listening. If you don't do that, you will lose your audience, and it's not advisable to lose them. So you, at every point in time, you must engage them. That's why engagement of your learners or audience is very key. You must own that skills to be able to keep them abreast with whatever you are training them on for the duration of that of that training program. If it is for 5 hours, you must keep them on their toes. And that's why it's good when you use different techniques, you'll be able to capture their mind throughout the duration of the training program. And also, you must be able to use innovative facilitation methods. What are the innovative facilitation methods? You can use case studies, you can use storytelling, you can use problem solving approach, you can use simulation, you can use role play, you can use real life examples to illustrate key points. It's very, very key, very, very key in this space, so that you can get them along, you can make the learning fun, engaging, and they'll be able to catch what you're trying to deliver onto them. So incorporate your own personal experiences when necessary, and ensure you use relatable scenarios so that you can connect with them and they can connect with you. You don't want to lose them, remember. So also you must ensure you use visual aids and multimedias. Use slides, you can use videos, you can play song if possible, just for you to drive home your point, just for you to get their attention, just for them to be able to acquire that skills, that attitude, that competencies you want them to acquire at the end of your training program. So ensure that the visual aids you are using is very clear, very appealing, and relevant to the content of what you are training them on. This is important. So you must also develop that facilitation and group management skills. This is important. You must develop what? That facilitation and group management skill, because these people are group of people from diverse background, from diverse homes. There are different categories of learners. So you must foster an environment that encourages open dialogue, respectful discussions, and bring everybody together on that one training program. So you must be able to manage them. And that's why you being a good manager is important in this aspect. So effectively manage group dynamics, must handle conflict if it erupts, if there's that that particular trainee or learners that is destructive or may want to disrupt your training program, you must know how to manage such learners. So you will find different categories of learners, and you must have that facilitation and good management skills to be able to carry all of them along, to be able to deliver what is important or what is required for them to acquire. So this is important as well. So under this facilitation and group management, you should also consider you being able to adapt to the group's needs and adjust the pace at which you move with them. Everybody cannot learn at the same pace. So you must understand the different groups' needs and aspirations, and also you must adjust appropriately. So in this process also, you must also summarize key points. At the end of the training, you must summarize key points and ensure everyone is on the same page. Whoever that is not catching up, you must ensure how to drag that person, how to bring that person to the know, so that everybody will be on the same page. So these are some of the skills you need as a facilitator to be able to carry out effective presentation and facilitation. You can also consider time management skills, which is also important, so that you plan every of your training sessions and you don't get to you don't get to go out of context. You don't get to go out of time, so that your learners will not complain that this is the time schedule for the training. You are going, or you have overused your time. So you must be mindful of the time. You must manage it effectively. So you must also, at the end of it, you must also carry out assessment and feedback. So you must own that skills, so that you know how they have fared over the course of the training program. So feedback is important. You must get their feedback. If you don't get their feedback, then how do you want to improve on whatever you have trained them on? So you must listen actively, respond to their question responsively and objectively. You must show enthusiasm and passion about what you want to deliver onto them, because they are watching you. If you don't show that, then you may get to lose them. So these and many more are the skills that you must consider. So having been exposed to the facilitation skills, how you can carry out, or you can conduct effective presentation and facilitation. Let's consider this scenarios. Assuming you encounter a destructive participant in your training program, how can you deal with such a destructive participant? So that's one. Secondly, how do you address a participant question beyond your own expertise? You can find some learners or trainees who will ask you questions even that is beyond the scope of what you are training them. How do you address such? So I want you to drop your comment on the comment section of the video. So do this in 3 to 5 minutes, and before you proceed on the session. So first, how do you deal with destructive participants during a training session? Second, how do you address a participant's questions beyond your own scope, beyond your own expertise? So drop your comment as we proceed. Okay. So under we are looking at another aspect under training, delivery, and facilitation, and this is onboarding. So onboarding, as you can, as you may think, is an organizational tools or techniques that refers to the process of introducing a new employee to the system. Every organization has a way of onboarding or introducing their employees, or maybe the newly recruit employee to the system. So it's a process. It's a process. So it also includes providing the employees with everything, the nitty-gritty of about that organization. So we want to know the staff, the achievement, their culture, the organization, how they do things, how they carry out their routines, and the do's and don'ts of the organization. So you find out in this onboarding process is where a newly recruit employee will be orientated on all of these things. So onboarding typically involves activities such as orientations, job specific trainings. There's a way they want some newly recruit employee to work in that organization. This is the process where they take them through, and also introduction of staff members. So just have it at the back of your mind that the main goal of onboarding process or onboarding here is to ensure that new employees or trainees become familiar and comfortable with the organization, and to help them transition into their new role. So what's the implication for you as a facilitator? Every potential trainees or learners, you must be able to onboard them into your training program. How do you onboard them? You must create an orientation program for them, something like a familiarization program before your training starts eventually. This is for you to know them. This is for you to understand their training needs, their strengths, their weaknesses. In this process, you can conduct something like a pre-evaluation, just for you to have that knowledge. So you find out that it is this onboarding process that will give you that leverage to be able to know, if not everything, most things about your trainees. So onboarding as a concept is very key in training, delivery, and facilitation program. So before the training proper starts, you must do what we call onboarding. It is very common within organizations. But you as a trainer, you can also use that concept to be able to get to know your trainees, your client, and be able to deliver optimally what you intended to deliver to them. So that is onboarding. You see, if you look at this image, it's like trying to bring somebody who is not in the know or who does not know what they are, who does not know about you or what is expected of them, to now get them to know what they are expecting. It's like whetting their appetite to know what they are expecting in the course of the training program. And this is a powerful concept that is germane to delivering an effective and efficient training program. Right. Another concept in training, delivery, and facilitation is scaffolding. Call it scaffolding. Is an instructional strategy that involves breaking down a complex task into smaller and more manageable steps. So it's like a goal. You have a goal. If you have a goal or you have a dream, you must be able to break down that goal into small deliverables so that you can take the small deliverables at a time. You can plan it so that you will achieve that goal or that dream at the end of the day. So scaffolding in this sense is what? Breaking down a complex task into smaller or more manageable steps. You can consider a wedding project, for instance. I'm sure majority of you are familiar with that. You must have gone to one wedding or the other, or even engaged in one, as some learners. So if you pick wedding project, for instance, what are the things, what are the deliverables involved in wedding as a project? Maybe you don't have all the steps. It's not absolute. So depending on who is carrying out the project, but these things are very important, must be there when you are carrying out a wedding project. For instance, first thing is that initial consultation and planning. You might want to do consultation between families, between extended families. You want to plan about the project, about the wedding. So you must do that consultation and planning. After which you guys will now decide on venue selection and booking. This is where we're going to use. This is when the date and time of the wedding. You decide that. Another thing is the vendor selection and management. You want to do that as well. Who are the people that are coming to provide food, provide everything, who are going to manage the event for us. So another thing is design and decoration. All wedding program now have event planners. They hire event planners to do their design, planning of the wedding, and do design and decoration for them. So that is also part of the process of executing a wedding project. Another area is the invitation and stationery. You want to do invitation cards. You want to plan how to deliver it and all that. Another thing is attires and accessories, the cloth, the wedding gown, the attire you want to use for the for the groom's family, for the bride's family, and all that. So logistics is also part of it, for transportation, accommodation, and what have you. Rehearsal and ceremony planning is also part of it. Before you now do the project or the wedding, you now execute the wedding finally. So these are just steps. So when you break them down into small deliverables, then achieving each of these goals, each of these deliverables now become simplified. And that's the essence of scaffolding. When you break them down, you can now pick them one by one. You find out that in each of your breakdown, you can also break that deliverable into another small deliverable, just to make the process of achieving that deliverable or the main deliverable easy. And that's what scaffolding will do for you. So scaffolding, is like providing a structure for learners to work within. The instructors can help them to understand and work through the task more effectively. When you break your complex process into finite and small deliverables. It makes it easier for you to walk your learners, your trainees through your training content. So this is important. So it is used to support, generally it is used to support learners with varying levels of understanding. It is used, it is used to support, it is used to support learners with varying levels of understanding, motivation, and ability. So here you will now do what we call you itemize the process involved in scaffolding of a project of your choice. I want you to do it yourself. Put it in the comment section. Choose a project of your choice. Itemize the processes involved in the scaffolding of that project you have chosen. It's like a ladder to get to the top. How do you get to the top? Once you take it step by step, you can get to the top. So you need to break that goal, that overarching goal, into small steps for you to achieve it. So what are the steps in that project of your choice? I've just used wedding as a project as an example. So you must you do your own and put it in the comment section. This is also important as a means of assessment. Okay, so far so good. I want to say thank you for listening, and I hope you have learned one or two things from this session. So we will continue from here. Bye.